I have tried, but I failed is in no way the same as I failed because I didn't try. An even more green version of that is someone failed because I didn't try. Kiev Independent puts it both straight and forward. Biden's trip to Europe failed to deliver long-term Trump-proof increase in support Ukraine needs to get upper hand in the fight against Russia's invasion.
Ukraine faces a tough winter. We must sustain our resolve, our effort and our support. I know the cost is heavy. Make no mistake, it pales in comparison to the cost of living in a world where aggression prevails, where large states attack and bully smaller ones, simply because they can. Joe Biden, President of the USA.
So the hard truth, in easy terms, nothing changed. Just season that sour nothingness with Biden's sweetness a bit to get the taste. Apart from that sweetness, according to a joint statement released by the White House, Ukraine's situation and support from Western allies seem to have largely remained the same as they were the day before Biden's trip to Germany.
The leaders condemned Russia's continued war of aggression against Ukraine, discussed their plans to provide Ukraine with additional security, economic and humanitarian assistance, including leveraging the extraordinary revenues of immobilized Russian sovereign assets, as decided at the G7 summit, discussed President Zelensky's victory plan and reiterated their resolve to continue supporting Ukraine in its efforts to secure a just and lasting peace based on international law, including the United Nations Charter and respect for sovereignty and territorial integrity. The White House read out of the meeting in Berlin.
All good, but obviously there is a cause and effect. So how do you secure a just and long-lasting peace you talk about if instead of the substantial effort to be taken to eliminate the cause, you only condemn it and act barely enough to cope with the effect? Obviously, the game needs to be changed, but how do you change it when the meeting of strongest leaders of this world brings no new pledges of game-changing support beyond current levels of weaponry provided, nor we see any progress on key issues, such as authorizing long-range strikes inside the aggressor's turf, nor is a clear path to NATO membership blueprinted, nor other grounded and logical requests of Zelensky's victory plan are secured, at least by now. Instead, the mighty leaders reiterated the useless curse of condemnation of Russia's continued war of aggression against Ukraine and highlighted discussions of plans for additional security, economic and humanitarian assistance. All vague mumbling to me. And I know one indicted dictator in one aggressive country that is no doubt happy about it. Putin is absolutely adored by the collective Wests in general and American in particular, elective impotence. The Russian Tsar continues his bloody deeds of sending human waves to meet assaults, and that works. Putin slowly gains ground in eastern Ukraine. Not just ground, I'm sorry, it's our homeland. We lose our homes to Putin, while public relations eggheads and strategic presidential advisors in America very strategically and very presidentially advise strategic indecisiveness to President Biden and friends as the best way to counter Russia's military aggression. Kurt Volker, former U.S. ambassador to NATO and special representative to Ukraine under Trump's first presidency, said Biden's trip had two main goals. The first was to show the American public that Europe also contributes significantly to help Ukraine in its existential fight against Russia. Trump, who has since his first presidency lambasted European countries for not contributing enough to their defense while relying instead on US taxpayers as an umbrella of security of sorts, has repeatedly said that Europe should do more to end the war raging on their continent. The second goal was to discuss with allies how they actually can strengthen the US defense industry and provide Ukraine with more weapons to counter Russia's vast military power. Focus emphasized Ukraine's urgent need for more ammunition, long-range munitions, improved air defense systems and additional support in the Black Sea. However, they expressed uncertainty about whether these priorities align with the Biden administration's plans given the looming elections. What Ukraine needs is fairly obvious. They need more ammunition, they need it more quickly, they need to use the munitions that we are giving them at a longer range, Volker said. So those are real things that are on the Ukrainian list. It's just that I'm not sure they're on the Biden administration's list, and they intend actually to do, Volker added. So Biden's visit to Berlin is surely a swan song with fine lyrics to it and no harmony, at least for Ukraine. Let's, for all our mutual sake, hope that it comes after elective mating season in the US. While for Kyiv these days, one fear is getting continued US support under the Harris presidency coming at such a slow pace that even former NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg has called it way too slow and way too gradual. An even bigger fear is having support sharply cut under Trump. Both scenarios have triggered Zelensky and other Ukrainian officials to intensify efforts to secure long-term defense support now and push allies to ease restrictions on the use of their weapons for strikes in Russia. So far, Zelensky's administration has had limited success. Just a week before Biden's visit, Zelensky also traveled to Germany, where he met with Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Following their meeting, Germany, Belgium, Denmark and Norway unveiled a new aid package for Ukraine worth $1.5 billion. But Berlin continues refusing to send long-range Taurus missiles or allow Ukraine to use German weapons to strike targets deep within Russia. We are supporting Ukraine as powerfully as we can, and at the same time we're making sure that NATO does not become a party to the war so that this war does not turn into even bigger catastrophe, Scholz said. When your neighbor's house is on fire and you are helping, and you are fighting fire with just enough extinguishing effort to limit the catastrophe only to some parts of neighbor's house. And you also dig a protective rover in a hope that the fire won't get through. Only a man who hasn't seen actual fires before and whose house is not on fire now can come up with such a terrible strategy, as it is not enough to prevent catastrophe if all has not been done to do it. And with a fear-based strategy like Scholz, it is only a matter of when Germany, on its own, walks the burning grounds of Europe in our Ukrainian shoes. Und bitte, Herr Scholz, don't say we haven't warned you.